Hi, this is Keesha Lewis, and you will hear the voice of my husband, Corey Lewis. I want to invite y'all to come along on a journey with us through our ups and downs, our trials and tribulations, our pros and cons, our if, ands, and our buts. We are soon to be starting a podcast to get into the life and answer the everyday common questions, the difficult and easy ones, the silly and not so silly ones of the everyday American female and male from each a different perspective. My husband is from the streets, a single parent home, and I am from a two-parent home. I'm not from the streets, but I got in the streets after I left home. So now we are both on the Lord's side. So we will be answering questions from people all over everywhere. So if you will, we want to give you a little sample tonight. Corey, say hi.
Hi, people. How are you doing?
That's the great Corey Lewis. Senior. Husband. I will often refer to him as husband because I like him being that. Husband, if someone were to come to you and ask you, what was the hardest thing What was the hardest thing about going to prison and coming home? What would your answer be?
What was the hardest thing about going to prison and coming home?
Yes.
Which means, what was the hardest thing about going and then the hardest thing about coming home?
Yes.
Are you serious?
Yes, I'm serious.
Well, the hardest thing about going was, leaving your family, leaving your children, and at the time, I wasn't married, so leaving that girl and that thing, the love and the affectionate, once a person is used to being free and maneuvering around in the free world, getting up when you want to get up and eat what you want to eat and go to work or not go to work or, even have some romance or sexual intercourse when you want to do that. So, making money, living and going to the clubs and just doing anything you want to do. So, the hardest thing about going in there is, you finna be away from all of this for, a number of years, whether it's 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, and to even lose whatever you built. If you had a house, they lose your house, they take the house, cars, truck, whatever you had out here in the world and stuff. So the hardest thing as far as going was leaving your loved ones and your family. And then, seeing that your children has to grow up without you in their life. So I think that was the hardest thing about going. And another thing, not knowing if you're going to make it home. Because just because a person go to prison, that don't mean they're going to make it home. It don't mean they're going to make it out of there. So now the hardest thing about coming home from prison, I think, was not knowing. The world changed. The world has changed, and it's a lot of technology out here, and prisoners worry about. I worried about. Am I going to make it? Am I going to be able to be a law-abiding citizen? Will I get a job? Will I get a good job? How long before I get a job? Because I'm an ex-felon. So it was a lot of things where I'm going to stay. How's people going to look at me? How will I get reacquainted with my children and my family? So that's a lot on a person coming from prison, and due to the amount of time that a person has done, like me, they say we're institutionalized. So at some point now, I'm scared to come back into society because I retrained my mind to live on the inside of a prison. So now I have to retrain my mind to come back on the outside, and it's scary. Because, it's scary. It's like you start over from scratch and you feel like a failure at times, but yeah, it's scary. So the hardest thing is I don't know about my jobs. I don't know how my family is going to accept me. I don't know how my children is going to accept me. I don't know where to start. I don't know how to get around on the bus. I don't know, so it's a lot of not knowing.
Okay. All right. And that is an example of what Mr. Lewis would speak on. As far as myself, I would speak on the everyday life in the free world, the advantages and the disadvantages of that. So, if y'all are interested, please subscribe to our channel, because we would do it on YouTube for now. And then once we start the podcast, we will invite you over. And I hope that you guys will support us, and we can bless you and you can bless us, because we are all learning together. And it takes a village to raise children. It takes a village to stick together to get through this world. So we thank you, and we hope to see you again soon. This is Keesha and Corey on The Everyday Life.